you guys is just about my time on TikTok. And like it really, I don't know, there's a lot to like, there's a lot to think about. Thank you for the gift. Hi, Cameron. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Because every day I'm still getting messages from people thanking me for talking about what I'm talking about. But I'm still getting some pretty violent messages too. And I'm just choosing to focus on the positive impact that I'm having instead of focusing on people who are mad at me, people who don't agree with me, people who oh, tea time. Hi. Yeah, you want to talk about the tea? We can talk about some tea. Another thing that like I should have made clearer is that I didn't ever like confirm or deny if the person that people found was actually him. What's my positive impact? My positive impact is that I'm letting people know who have been victims of therapeutic exploitation that they're not alone and that there was a way to get out. And I'm also showing just how many unethical mental health professionals there are out there. Because the way that they frickin' darvoed me and made me the problem, like it's insane. I did not come to TikTok to wreck his life. I didn't ever even say who he was. Professionals need to not wreck their own life by keeping good boundaries. And this is why I keep telling my story, is because I won't let people tell me what's truth and what's real and what's not. And the truth is that I am totally able to tell my story. Every survivor of exploitation is able to tell their story. And, unfortunately, a big arm of the patriarchy is women. We're taught to uphold the patriarchy. We're taught to defend men with power. And so, hey, Lily. Okay, I'm done with my nails, so let me check in on the comments. What's up, Sarah? So all that to say, like, my positive impact is I'm showing women that their truth is real and that I'm not letting other people dictate my reality, and they shouldn't either. Okay, I didn't say who he was. I said a first name, and people found him, or maybe they didn't. Who knows? I didn't ever say, yeah, that's him. But I felt so mortified. And that is the only reason I turned off my comments. Fun fact to everyone. Was because people were posting pictures, people were saying names, guessing names. And so I turned off my comments because it was just too much. And so that's, but this is what I'm learning, is that people who name people who treat them bad, it just causes other adults to be triggered by the times that they were exploited in their life. And it makes them want to self-soothe, and it makes them lash out. So no, I didn't name him. A first name is not doxing. What the rest of TikTok did was doxing. Blue, I did write a book. It's just starting editing now. Hey, JJ. Oh, thank you, Gabrielle. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, forgot about that one. Definitely. Because that's the other thing is that, like, I am divinely guided. People want so badly to just see me be affected by their abuse. Okay, and here's the other thing that people don't understand. Big shout out to whoever. I need to change my contacts because I'm like, because I am having a hard time reading. So here's the other thing, you guys, is that people are acting like I tried to change, like ruin someone's life when I knew he'd be fine. I knew he'd be fine. And guess what? Whether or not you guys found him, he is fine. I know that he's fine. Because he is a man in power. And one of my very good friends from college is also his patient. And he's still working full time. He's still seeing patients. And my friend told him that he knew me. And they laughed about it. And I was like, you guys laughed about it? People are acting like I ruined his life. And Scott was like, yeah, Kendra. It's the patriarchy. Today, these are mini dianthus. Macy, how am I holding up from all the publicity? I don't know. I think that's why I haven't like finished my story yet, is because I'm still trying to figure out, like, I think I am holding up. The fact that women hate me so much, or like I'm trying to say that I'm like a terrible person, I'm like, that's the thing. That's what I want to show people, is that they don't have to because as women, we're taught to gaslight ourselves. We're taught to defer to other people, especially men in power. And I missed what you pinned, Sarah. If it was you saying his life hasn't changed, I promise. Yeah, his life is fine. He's fine. Me, on the other hand, but that's just what happens to women who speak out. Sam, hi. Thanks, Ashley. And I'm here to change that. Yeah, I saw an Instagram post that I want to share because it really, young thug. Why are you tagging yourself? Oh, do people recognize you in public? So I've had it happen twice, and both times when I was in Portland, Oregon for 3 weeks. And I think that people recognize me. They had to have. here where I live, but okay. There we go. So they recognized me here, and they just don't say anything, which is the right thing to do. So I had two different people recognize me in Portland. The first one, my friend came up to me and said, like, I saw her at a wedding, and she was like, I just heard. And I said, what did you hear? And she was like, she said, somebody recognized you. And I was like, who? And she said, a barista. I was like, oh, okay. So a barista where I went to get a latte one morning recognized me, saw me, looked me up on Instagram, saw that this woman and I were mutuals, someone that she was a mutual with, and said, like, told her, who knows what she told her? Because that's the other thing is, this is another thing that I learned when you speak about the things that happen to you, like the evil things that men can do. People will make up lies about you. And that's the other thing is I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's not true. I'm living in my own reality. So longest 15 minutes ever. You can go. You don't have to hang out. Okay, so that happened. My friend was obviously freaked out, like, because who knows what somebody said. And then I was telling this story on a live, and someone commented, that's because that's her roommate, and that freaked me out. I'm like, what if it was her roommate? But regardless. Swoop is inconsequential to me. I haven't watched it. The reality is that she went through a lot of effort, and it's really romantic. She wants so badly to be right about who I am. It's a perfect example of people making up lies. It was a lot of nothing. Exactly. Thank you. Right. Like, oh my God, she wants to make 4 hours of content all about me dragging another woman. Because that's it. Like, women are taught to uphold the patriarchy. Women are taught to defer to men in power. And we'll scold each other. Because guess what? My doctor and my guy friend just get to fucking laugh in their office while women do the former psychiatrist's dirty work for him and do everything they can to make me look crazy. What's up? Yeah, exactly. I appreciate her love and admiration, but it's actually sweet all the time you've spent on me. It's honestly wild all the effort you've put in. Duck K. It's actually romantic. I mean, Swoop just has a big giant crush on me. That's what that is. And this is what I'm here to show women, is that I don't have to let other women police me. I don't have to let other women's actions and words and thoughts tell me what's up. Because I would like everyone to realize that men moved on months ago. I got Hassaned. We were laughing about that last live. that same friend who is also the psychiatrist patient was like, I can't believe you got Hassan. And so men moved on months ago, but women are still just putting so much work into trying to make me the problem. Yeah, why would I watch it? Because she doesn't know anything about me. She interviewed medical professionals, but she didn't interview me. Tea time. People are obsessed with me. People are so obsessed with me. They made up that I was jealous of Taylor Swift. When I just said, like, I literally said in my live that I was so glad that she was the one that he ended up with, because she's the only one that is worthy. And people just took it and ran with it. Like, people went psychotic over me and were so obsessive. What's up, Anna? You let me know. Regardless, you're the queen. Thank you. Okay, well, isn't she the main one? Isn't she the one that's going to tell people what to do? Yeah, people are really projecting, for sure. People are majorly projecting. You got that right. Yeah. So somebody asked, what is ADHD coaching? I help people overcome blocks that has to do with their ADHD. Thank you. So whether it's time management, decision fatigue, self-esteem, usually it's like understanding the best way for them to make decisions through human design, time management, and self-esteem. It's just about skills. But recently I have really been focusing on sobriety, and I have a group coaching starting next week. I gave Sass some time off. She needed it. She worked so hard for so long. She needed some time off. I'm so grateful for all that she did for me and all the work that she did and all the lives that she was in. Really, truly, super grateful for Sass. Yeah, no, like tea time, you got a lot to say, but you're not saying much. To be very honest. I am sober. I quit the two hardest things, the two things that I loved the most. I quit alcohol and I quit cigarettes. And so because of that, and that's part of my tenet of getting sober with ADHDers, is that if we quit everything, we're screwed. Like, being pigeonholed isn't going to work for us. Like, if it wasn't for gardening, I could not have quit alcohol, period. And then once like I got into several months of sobriety from alcohol, my gardening use really calmed down. Yeah, we love Sass, that's right. Have you ever received justice? It's interesting because I came to TikTok, not necessarily to receive justice from the doctor. And that's what's so interesting, that this is what I mean, that the framing, people wanted so badly for me to like, the framing to be vindictive woman tries to ruin a man's life, when really it was just me trying to figure stuff out. And then as I was telling my story, I started helping people, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Hey, Sabrina, what's up? Yeah, we love sass. That's right. I got sober from alcohol in June of 2021. So I'm just about 4.5 years sober, and I'm really, really proud of that. The first year was super hard. Yeah, gardening is very good. There was actually there was a lot of people have gotten sober off of much harder things because of gardening. Gardening is the thing that's legal in most states that I can't talk about. My biggest motivation for quitting was the fact that I was tired of hangovers. And my acupuncturist pointed out, because I didn't realize this, but she would like poke on my liver and it would be painful. And so when I finally came to her and told her like, my hangovers are getting really bad, and she was like, yeah, because your liver's finally healed and it's responding to alcohol in an appropriate way. And that freaked me out. So I like went home and listened to the book Sober Curious by Ruby Warrington. And I didn't drink again. Really. Like, but that first year was so hard. JJ, welcome back. It was so hard. So that was the other motivation to finish that question was, oh my God, it was hard to quit. And I was like, wow. I am 6'2". I practice yoga all the time. And I teach yoga for superfans every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. No, gardening is a code word for something that could get me in trouble on here. Yay for your aunt. Hey, Kevin. We're talking about sobriety. A super fan is someone that they have, like if you look at Casper, yeah, Casper is my regular at yoga. She's awesome. If you look at Casper, she has her little badge, and I love my super fans. I know. Hi, Seashell. So gardening, a lot less. I garden in my luteal phase sometimes because it feels medicinal. But if I do it in the rest of my cycle, it feels like it's taking me out of my body instead of putting me into it. So like, because that's the biggest thing. That's another thing that I think that people are really upset about with me is like, I'm so sure about my experience. And people are like, no, you cannot be that sure. You aren't allowed to be. You can't speak about what happened to you that way. No, I don't want to be sober from gardening because like I said, it's not something that I use to numb out. Like alcohol I was using to numb out all of the time. And so gardening helps me with like PMS symptoms. And so I'll use that. California sober, baby. That's right. That's right. I do not still see that therapist. I got a new therapist. So that was, I terminated with the 75-year-old with a PhD before I terminated with the doctor. And she cried in my last session when I terminated with her as I was leaving. And she begged me to come back. So this is when people like want to make 2-hour-long documentaries about how I'm violent. I'm like, okay. Okay. Cool. Didn't know that about myself. Because she was very shocked. She felt very shocked that I was leaving. She cried and she called out after me, "Have a nice life." I was like, that was freaking weird. I'm back. I missed you too, Pidge. Somebody commented, "It's hidden." You're such a liar. This is the thing, like, people tell me what's true for my life, and I just won't let it happen. And this makes them so mad. And people telling me, because this is what happens with women, is we're told what we're allowed to experience in our reality. And it's just, it's not, I won't allow it. I am very sure of my reality. And I just think it's funny that people still love framing me as this like horrible person. It's like laughable, honestly. Her crying? Okay. If you don't want to think that it happened, that's your reality, not mine. Potatoes are gonna potato. What is the Sobriety for ADHDers group? Thank you for pinning that. I really, yeah, like I said, I need to take out my contacts. I actually might do that. So it is a group coaching. I am going to teach how I got sober, and it's going to be a group coaching, collaborative environment. So I'm going to be teaching and recording the teaching for like groups later on. And then it's going to be a Q&A open session, and people will ask me questions, talk about what they're struggling with, and I will answer. I'm not 5'9", I'm 6'2". I see you. Swoop covered you, and it's a very good watch. Yeah, we were talking about Swoop. I just talked about it's so romantic that she would take so much time to make up all these things about me. Ugh. And not only one video, but 2. Wow. Swoop, you shouldn't have. Spreading the gospel, making victims of therapeutic exploitation feel less alone. Sam Pam, yes. Sarah mods for me now. Yeah, no, I don't need to watch a YouTube video that they didn't even bother to interview me. Why do I need to watch that? Why should I watch that? Wait, no, not why. I am not going to watch it because she did not interview me to get my take. So if my reality is being speculated on without my words, without my input, I will not watch it. Ooh, that's a good point. I'm like, oh yeah, that made me feel angry that someone would speculate on me like that. We have a dinner and a movie party one night here with Kendra. Yeah, Sarah is the bomb, you guys. The bomb. Like, Sass was amazing. Sarah's great. Oh yeah, she loves me a lot. I can tell. I can tell. You guys, like, People Magazine interviewed me. If People Magazine can have responsible journalism, other people can be responsible too. No, she did not ask me for an interview. No. I would have said yes. I would have, yeah. Vicky asked if I would have said, yeah, absolutely. She was very repetitive and missed key information. Yeah. I have that effect on people. Do you have any friends, close family in real life? You seem lonely. I think you might be projecting a little bit there. I think that's also like, there's a big projection that so many people don't have a support system, and they are so mad that they can't shame me back into being alone because I have a support system. And I think, oh, I talk to my friends and I'm like, yeah, this is happening. And they're like, wow, this is hard. Abby, my girl, yes. Ladybug. Projection is not protection. Exactly. Yep. So this is the other thing, is that a lot of my friends and family and support system knew that I had major feelings for the psychiatrist, and they didn't have the tools to name it for what it was, but they knew. I talked to them about it, like I say in my videos. And so, but then, like, being able to get out, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I could leave. And where am I going with this? I am saying that a support system is really important. And that was another thing that the harassment campaign did. Like, they tried so hard to separate me from my support system. She has too much that she wants to hide herself under a rock. Yeah. Did you ever consider modeling since you're 6'2"? I did consider it. I've always been like a size 12, size 14. So, I would have to have been like a plus size model. But my RA, I'll never forget this. My RA, when I was 18, she printed out America's Next Top Model for like a form to be on the show. I did not fill it out. This is the other thing that I think is, like, I've just been sitting with so much getting ready to finish my story. And it's just all of the inconsistencies. Who is your biggest support person right now? Forever and always my best friend, who from Portland, and she lives on the East Coast, and we send each other voice messages. Yes to support always. Yeah. Voice messages for the win. Abby said, and they failed. Exactly. The harassment campaign failed at so much. And Abby, this is what I've been talking about a lot of the wrong. Like, a lot of people have asked about the Swoop documentary and if I've watched it. And I said, why would I watch something, a 2-hour documentary about me, where they didn't even ask anything about me? They didn't want an interview. It's just projection and guessing. open to a blind date. I got a really funny comment. I got another spicy website request today. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. I was pulling up an Instagram story that I really, really loved. Let me see, saved. Yes, we love Abby. I'll never watch that documentary. Hi, Chaz. I'm so glad you're here. Exactly. Like, you know, Tiff was funny. She was like, Kendra, I almost watched it, but I thought, I didn't want to do you like that. I didn't want to betray you. I was like, it's okay. It would have been okay. No, I am not dating. This is something that's been so wonderful about me telling my story is I've learned to decenter men. Men are liabilities at this point. I have 2 men that live across the way from me in my little complex, and they fix stuff for me and take care of my yard and do things for me because men are good for that. And that's really what I need. You're so pretty. Do you have diabetes? That was a good moment. Do they do all that stuff for you for free? Yeah. Yeah. Of course they do. I'm not going to pay my neighbors to do stuff for me. I pay them back in my time and attention. Thank you. No, we all rent. So a lot of my For You page has been about like Oprah's take on estrangement and the podcast that she did. I thought that it was pretty good. 'Cause a lot of this like has had me reckon with the fact that like the CSA that happened to me as a child. And I'm learning also that a lot of other women are in the same boat as me with that. And many women want to think that they're still safe, and so they'll project onto me. And Oprah's also a CSA survivor. She talks a lot about it, you know? And so this was one of the best takes that I saw. So, okay. I'm working on it. I'm working on it right now. Childhood abuse. So, hold on. Let me just read it all. Okay. So this creator said, my stepmom and I would talk about the abuse I endured at the hands of my mother my entire childhood. She'd always loved to shit talk her and was in some weird secret competition, it felt like. I don't know why she came into my life at 18, so she wasn't a mother figure ever, nor did she want to be. She made that clear to my father on their first date. And she used it to compare herself, because this is what a lot of women are doing to me. They're comparing themselves to me. They're like, oh, I'll never be as delusional as Kendra. I would never fall for a doctor. I would never fall out of line with the patriarchy. We should be really concerned for her that she's doing that, right? Yeah, okay. Saw some weird competition, but we do not have to be in competition with ourselves, and this is why I'm just removing myself from the competition of women. So somehow the conversation would end up with her validating herself. I always asked my sons if I should have done anything better or different in their childhoods, and they always tell me, no, you were the perfect mom. This is what people are like, be a perfect victim. Stop talking. No. To that I say no. And I then would say, well, I know I'll never want my daughter to be able to have conversations with me and see that I can be accountable when I do mess up. That's where the conversation always ended. This isn't to say she was lying. I can't say specifically about how she parented her sons. What struck me is the constant self-validation and inability to truly look inward, and how the conversation was pivoted back to her own interest for ego protection. And this is what people get mad at me about, is they're like, you should self-reflect. And I'm like, I was a patient seeking care. I did self-reflect for 4 whole years, trying to center this man. Messages every day from people telling me that I helped them. Go, Kendra, go, Kendra, go, go. No, that's the Kendra Wilkinson Playboy Playmate theme song. So that is it's very minimal distress tolerance and a lot of entitlement. That's the internet. Minimal distress tolerance, heaven forbid a woman talk about what happened to her in a situation where she had 0 power. 0. I was the patient. I reclaimed my power. I stepped into my power when I left and told my story about what happened. But 0 power. Thanks, Sarah, for pinning that. And I think that it also makes people uncomfortable. They're like, why is she talking? Okay, fun fact. I did request my records and they never sent them. Am I 25 user? No, I'm 36. I'm proud of it. Thank you. That's another thing that I'm learning about. I'm like, God, it feels good to be in my 30s. It feels good to be able to stand in my truth. It feels good to be like, no, you know what? That was wrong. So, let me see. Okay. That is exactly what we're watching politically right now. And this is the part that really resonated with me. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a small practice. A lot of people told me that I should get my records. And so I wasn't ready because I wasn't healed yet, and I still am working on healing. And SAS actually had the idea to get it through my new primary care provider. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And so I filled out a form giving my new primary care provider permission to request my records because, she's my carer for my ADHD meds now. And she also has seen all my TikToks. And they never sent them, which is frustrating to me, but yeah. Okay. So here's the list that I really resonated with. Obedience over authenticity. Women are like, Why aren't you obeying the script? The script that society gives women? Be obedient. Otherwise, I'm gonna make a 2-hour documentary about how you're violent. Is it hard working out with a professional who's seen all your parts on TikTok? No. Luckily, my therapist, it would be hard if my therapist saw that, but no. How is that okay? Exactly. Like, I would have been happy to talk to Miss Swoopy Swoop. Happy. Papa Meat? No. Hassan Piker? No. Maybe Hassan. My friend that's also the psychiatrist patient, he's like, you gotta get on Joe Rogan. You gotta get on this podcast. You gotta get on that podcast. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But okay. Obedience over authenticity. Hassan, I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't. It's just because my friend was like, wow, that's a big deal that Hassan talked about you. That you were Hassaned. And then it was interesting because my friend showed me about like how he freaking got in a lot of hot water because he shocks his dog. Yeah, you guys are projecting. I'm just talking about what I won't allow from other women. I love to hear you say that I'm bashing women. I think that you're getting it wrong. Women are bashing me. I don't think you're getting it wrong. I know you're getting it wrong. Women have bashed me this entire time, and I'm standing up for myself. You miss your boyfriend? I'm sorry. If you broke up with him, it's for the better. Okay. Compliance over curiosity. Another great one. Oh, people, instead of being curious about my situation and showing 1 ounce of nuance, they tried to shove me back into compliance. He caught me cheating. How do I get him back? If you wanted to cheat on him, he wasn't for you. Period. Go live your life. But yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. Like, compliance over curiosity. Yeah, manifestors aren't meant for compliance. Juicy Scoop podcast would totally have you on. Well, Sarah Fraser had me on. That was fun. I was on a few podcasts. Joe Rogan, I don't think he would. He's a little too big for me. But okay. Let's go over the list. Silence over accountability. Like, hello? This is what women are saying. They're like, why are you not silent? How dare you ask for accountability from a man who harmed you, who had all the power? I'm going to say that you had the power. Even though he's doing fine, he's still practicing, because of course he is, because he's a man in power, and that's how it works. I mean, I didn't want him to stop practicing. If anybody wants to invite me on their podcast, it's info@Kendra Hilty. Maybe I shouldn't have them DM me. Like, God, maybe I shouldn't give my email. Because I just had nonstop attacks on my business for weeks. Okay, months actually. So silence over accountability, loyalty over truth, because that's the other thing. People are like, how dare you tell the truth? You have to be lying. How can you not be loyal to this man who had power over you? What did you pin? Joe Rogan. Loyalty over truth. What did Juicy Scoop have to say? Do I have a job? Yes, I am a coach. What list are you reading? It's a post from a therapist on Instagram about the Oprah podcast. And it's a tweet that she did, but I'm reading it from Instagram, and it's Reclaim with Brooke is her Twitter handle. And Brooke Lalone is her at on Instagram. And it's just about how, like, what society and, like, in particular, emotionally immature parents have put on her. But to me, I just resonated so much from it because it's what society and the internet has tried to put on me and what I will not deal with. User asked, what's your ideal man? Smart, considerate, aware, do I have a job? Yes, I'm a coach. So yes, I already said that. Okay, what's next? Fake or surface level relationships. That's the thing, is people don't want to know the truth about professional exploitation. They don't want to be confronted with the reality that it could happen to anybody. So they have to make me the problem, which is just wrong. Shame and fear of straying from the rules. There it is again. You know, I'm straying from the rules. I'm not being a perfect victim. And people are doing their best to shame me. But here's the thing, everyone, is that shame is an inside job. We can't make other people feel shame. We can only feel our own. And that's why I just refuse to take on other people's shame. And it makes them even more mad. Anna, no, I haven't found my dream man. With the flowers in my face to protect me. The flower is a co-host. Yes. Yeah. From negative energy. And the protection incense. It's going strong. Exactly, Boop. Yes. Boop gets it. Yeah, these women are obsessed with me. Oh my God, I still can't believe that someone earlier in the live said that I was dragging women. Whoa. Whoa. The projection. Okay. Yeah, shame or fear of straying from the rules. And this is the other thing, is women hold a lot of fear in their bodies from straying from the rules, because look at what happened to me when I strayed from the rules. Wasn't good. but you know what was good? Helping people from my own experience. Letting go of the shame and healing from the trauma. Using our voice, telling our story is an incredible way to heal. Yes, I do get it from the gem show. It is the gem show that I get it from. If you know, you know. But most towns have small gem shows that come through their town, and I highly recommend people get jewelry from there. Yes, Abby said that it is freedom. Exactly. I feel so free. And this is what people don't understand is they want so badly to be the narrative, like I said earlier, vindictive woman goes after man, tries to make his life terrible. I'm like, no, the narrative is woman realized she wasn't treated well. And woman tells her story. I told my story. We're all entitled to tell our story because guess what? There's nothing wrong with it as long as it's the truth. And like I've said many times, I haven't ever confirmed if people actually found the psychiatrist. But if he wanted to sue me, he could. He probably would have if I was a liar. But everything in my story is based in reality, is based in truth, which is why he has not taken legal action because he would not last in court. And also, why would he? He doesn't need to. Well, he would, but because women are doing his dirty work for him. Why the automatic thought that a person is vindictive? I don't know. Abby, if you can chime in. I don't know what that is. I could also ask Claude. Yeah, people who say that coaching is a grift they're just showing their own limitation. How sad that you don't want to have people like help you live a better life. See, Maggie, that's a perfect example. You're telling me that you know more about my situation than what actually happened. Think about that for a moment. Like, you're acting like you were there in the room. People think that they know exactly what happened when they were not there. And this is what happens to women. Is we're told to not trust ourselves, that other people know better. Coaches aren't licensed. I never said that I was licensed. Right, so you think that online is reality? That's really sad if you think that online is reality. Like this, another thing that I'm thinking a lot about is just how people like dehumanized me in this process too. And just acted like I wasn't real when I am a real person. That's the other thing people were asking about, if somebody recognized me. A very drunk man recognized me when I was in Portland, and it was like one of the scariest moments of my life. But I think that he was really scared too, because he was like, oh my God, you're real. I'm like, yeah, I'm real. Hi, Jocelyn. I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for being here. You guys, I really need to change my contacts because I'm like, why should we believe you online? People don't need to believe me, because the people that get it, the ones that I'm speaking to, the ones that have gone through what I have also gone through, that's why I'm here. But my point is that women, I am happy to show women that they don't have to let other people shape their reality. Because this is what I'm learning, is that other people tried so hard to tell me what's true and what's not. And to that I said, no. Yeah, part 33 will be the last part. And I don't know when I'm going to post it, honestly. Because it's about the culmination of everything on TikTok and everything I've learned. And it's just been a lot to sit with. Christine, hi. Slay girl, Abigail, thank you. Yeah. Like, we as women are allowed to tell our truth. It is encouraged, actually. I can't tell you how freeing it's been to tell my story and be heard. It doesn't matter if people don't believe me. It doesn't matter that people want to do super romantic things like make YouTube videos about me without talking to me. I heard you call me boring Barbie when you're out feeling brave. How have I been? I've been really good. I've been working with some amazing clients, helping them get sober, putting together my group coaching program for sobriety, hanging out with friends, going to Orange Theory a lot. That's been really fun. I am quirky. Being quirky as hell. I had a really fun Costco run today. I got these kind of just spoke to me. It's like really, oh. Abby, they got me with the hate speech. They got me with the hate speech. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody reported my live for hate speech when I was talking about Costco. Costco has amazing yoga pants. The Danskin yoga pants are just as good as Lululemon. Yeah, I did get reported, but that's okay. People are mad at me. I'm not going on script, but I'm here to tell every single woman watching this, it's okay to go off script. It's actually encouraged. It feels great breaking out of the matrix of the patriarchy. 10 out of 10 would recommend it. It doesn't matter what other people have to say about you or your truth. It really doesn't. Authenticity is everything. Because what happened to me, the right people recognized me and invited me in. That's right, John C. Hi. When we show up as our authentic self, we piss a lot of people off, but we also draw the right people to us. I do like to read. Thank you for liking the horseshoe. It was a piece of art that I actually made. I was at like an art therapy workshop and that was something I made. I really like my crystals. My authentic self is hated so much by half the country right now. Yep. Welcome to the club. That's what happens when we show up authentically. Hey, Sam, what's up? So glad you guys are here. But yeah, let me tell you, being authentic feels great. So let's talk about that actually. I don't have Spotify. I've been an Apple Music girly for 10 years. I know that people are very brand loyal to Spotify, and apparently they have ties with Palantir and are working on tearing down. Thanks, Sam. I'm glad you do. I'm so glad you like my voice. I am not near New Jersey, no. How can one become brave enough to be more authentic? You can not care what people think about you. It's a practice, right? It's like the old adage of building muscle. You just got to work at it. Because the more, I got trial by like intense fire, but I just realized like, wow, all these people hate me, but I'm still standing and I still feel really good. So it's just about like the feedback loop of like, speak your truth, notice how good it feels, and keep doing it. It's just like what I use for sobriety and how I teach people and help people get sober is the feedback loop of like, oh, wow, I chose not to drink. That felt really good. So then the next time I'm craving a drink of alcohol, I'm not going to do it. My favorite healing crystal is, so somebody asked about, it's my crystal penis. That's my favorite one right now. It's my favorite talisman. I use it as a massager too. Yeah. It's lepidolite. It's wonderful. I saw it at the gem show and I was like, I need that. But I was like, no, that's kind of silly. And then I went home and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I went back the next day and got it. I can't help it. I can't. Maybe you guys are getting, I got, like I said, I got another request for a spicy site today. So you guys are getting, like, my material. Okay, I was on a roll with something. Spotify Wrapped. First of all, people want to send me their Spotify Wraps, please do, because the Apple Music replay just doesn't do it. It's not as good. It is not as good. And so one of the hardest things that happened to me, no, you can't request spicy stuff. Plenty of men have tried, but no, I will not fulfill those requests. Brittany, I'm so glad you like it. Thank you. Yes, so this is just for, this isn't like used. I have other things for that, but yeah, I don't know if they're like, they would use for crystals. Wow, we're getting vulnerable here. That's the other thing we talked about at the last live, right? Like, that's one of the tools that's used to silence women is we're not allowed, to make women invisible is we're not allowed to have sexuality. Guess what? I'm a sexual person. I know Sam. Sam was here the first time I whipped it out. Okay, and so I actually had a dream about Peachka last night. Because I stopped listening to Peachka in August. And she still has by far the most amount of minutes listened to. And Peachka was a hard one for me, you guys, because I loved her music so much. And she was so cruel to me. She made it very clear that she wanted nothing to do with me and made up a bunch of lies about me, like that I used ChatGPT to coach. when really she calls herself a spiritual advisor, and that's what I do. Like, I use my spiritual gifts to help my clients. Like, I just listen for messages about what they need. And she does the exact same thing, but she doesn't charge as much as me. And, oh, she was so fucking cruel to me. And it was just awful. To have your favorite musical artist drag you at like a time when the rest of the world is dragging me. It sucked. And so I just can't listen to her music the same anymore. I know. And it is boo-hoo. Try having your favorite artist make up lies about you on her live and then clip it. Oh. Oh, people are so mad right now. Oh my God, people are so mad at me. Sarah, they're mini carnations. Block and bless. Oh, I'm just getting a bunch of content upset. Like people are reporting my live. But that's okay. We continue on. Okay, so I don't know. They're saying that the content is like unable to be distributed. I'm talking about bad things. So Peachka was just so cruel. And somebody in her live, and she clipped herself saying this, somebody in her live was like, you're not going to be her favorite artist anymore. And she said, good. And like, with me, if I made art, like I listened to her music every day. Like her album Transmutation Guide was on repeat for me. And it's okay if she doesn't appreciate me stepping out of the script. But for her to just be so cruel. And I talked about this, you know, when it happened, but I used to pray to God and ask God, like, why is she not bigger? Because her music is so good. But I got my answer. Because she's cruel. I gave Sass some time off. Sass did an amazing job as my mod, and she just needed time. Hey, the shade is real because damn, that was painful. Yeah, Peachka. I loved her music. Like, because somebody asked me about my Wrapped, but I don't have Wrapped. I have Apple Music Replay. And even though I stopped listening to her music in August, she's still by far my #1 most listened to artist. And I didn't stop listening to her music out of spite. I just stopped listening to her music because it was too painful. It's my Lepidolite crystal that I use to massage my neck. I know. My favorite Taylor album is Midnights, but I've definitely been listening to Life of a Showgirl a lot. Mariah, you're late to the party. I'm not going to watch a documentary with someone who didn't even bother to interview me and made up a bunch of lies. This is what I'm telling people is that women are allowed to tell their story, and I'm not going to let other women or anyone else really, but it's really just women these days, dictate what I do and don't say or the reality that I live in. It's Lepidolite. I hate this app. I got it at a gem show. Lover is so good. I Forgot That You Existed is a great song and can't wait to sing that one. And what's another? London Boy, love London Boy. And what's another fun song from that? No. Midnight's is super underrated. Midnight's turned me into a Swiftie, you guys. I didn't really listen to Taylor before Midnight's. Archer is a great song, yeah. All right, well, I think that's it. I want everyone to know that people can clip me, people can make documentaries about me, people can Darvo the fuck out of me and pretend like I had power over a doctor. People can mischaracterize me, people can attack me, but I am here to say that nothing feels better than telling the truth. Nothing feels better than getting a story off your chest. And we are allowed to step out of the matrix as women, and we can be in our own reality. That's right. I am serious right now. I'm glad that you like Ophelia. I like it too. Soon. I don't know when. Really, you guys, like this, I already sound crazy, but I just wake up and I get messages and God keeps telling me I'm not ready for part 33 yet, you know. So I just have to wait until I wake up and I hear, okay, it's time to film. So we'll see. Thank you to everyone who's rooting for me. Banana! Okay, I appreciate you playing devil's advocate. So I did technically overstep, and it was his responsibility as the doctor to draw the boundaries. Because something that I learned from Abby is that CSA survivors recreate the trauma in therapeutic sessions. And he knew that about me, and he did not protect me. So, you know, that was on him. No, it is not recorded. I have written out some things, but I have not, it's not like in a cohesive flow. Yeah, thank you, Abby. Exactly. Yeah. Aw, thanks for the gifts. But yeah, thank you so much to Sarah for modding. Thank you to Abby for being here. And thank you to... I don't get why people don't understand that he's the doctor. Yeah, because it makes them feel better thinking that I was... It's Darvo. It's Darvo. Reverse victim and offender. It's textbook. That's what it is. Yeah. I adore everyone. Even the people that, you know, are here to clip and say things, you know. And thank you all so much for interacting. And I'm going to go reach out to my contact to get those violations off my... Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Good night, everybody.